Hi, my name is Thomas Kim. In this session, I will detail our syllabus. I mean, what we will learn in this course of video, in this series of videos. First, I will divide into two sections, two parts, part A and part B. Okay, so in part A, we will learn about this Visual C++, Visual C++, and Win32 MFC fundamentals about C++ programming on Windows fundamentals. We learn like a Visual C++ environment settings. In this course, we'll understand how to set system environment variables and C++ project settings and the precompiled header, C++ macros, etc. These things are pretty important to understand in our future work. So, in the second, we will learn Win32 Windows fundamentals. I mean, how to make Windows Win32 programming, like that, how to send and post custom window messages, things like that. And then we will move to MFC fundamentals. We will learn MFC collection library. It's actually very important. MFC collection library, we will not use it much, but MFC structure class libraries are based on MFC collection library. If we don't understand it, we cannot understand document view architecture. Also, we will learn MFC message handling, application registry, etc. About MFC fundamentals, we will learn. Then next, we will learn how to deal with character encoding. In fact, character encoding is very, very important in any computer programming, computer application. If you are going to develop software application, solid understanding of character encoding is very important. How to save and load files in Unicode like UTF-16 and UTF-8, and also ANSI character format. Next, we will learn how to create our code editor. We will make MFC application to implement code editor. And next, we will learn C++ array and dynamic array, pointer to pointer. We will learn such things. Most of you already know about dynamic arrays and pointer to pointer, things like that, but I will try to explain in more advanced way how to deal them properly, things like that. And also then next we will learn C++ smart pointer like std, unique ptr, shared ptr, weak ptr. These concepts actually we will use quite a lot, so understanding them is very important. Next we will move to move constructor and copy constructor and the concept of perfect forwarding. We will learn these things. Like we'll learn how to use std move, std forward, things like that. Then we will implement simple garbage collector in C++. I said simple. It does not need to be perfect in our purpose. I will implement a very simple garbage collector for our own use in future sessions. Then we will implement template library. Template library, most of you already knows about template library, but I will implement a stopwatch template library. It is actually very important in our application. It will be used to optimize our code in some case. Then we'll also learn how to implement the rational number template library, how to deal with the quotient without lose rational. You understand what is rational number, right? We will implement it in this session. This is to help you understand about template, how to implement the template library properly. Also understanding rational number is, if you are especially if you are implementing a counting program, for example, understanding rational number is really, really important, in fact. Also, And next we will learn function pointer. Function pointer is really important as well in C and C++ language. Then we will learn how to implement a dynamic DAL. What I mean dynamic DAL here is like we probably most of us already know how to implement DLL files, but I will I will try to explain one more things that most books do not deal. So it will be a little bit important, quite important in fact. So I will talk about it again. Then we will learn about lambda functions. Then custom container class. We will learn how to make our own custom container, extend existing container library, standard C++ library, and we will also implement our own from scratch. And then we learn about the C++ loop and iterators. Most of you already know C or C++ loops, but I will list all of them that is implemented and supported in Visual C++. And then we will learn std pair, std vector, std map, std set. These are like standard collection, standard template library, C++ standard template library collections. These will be used most frequently in our session. In implementing our interpreting language, we will use them most frequently. We can also use like std sorry, we can also use std deq or hash map or unordered map, and also set and unordered set or multi-set, multi-map. We can also use them, but we will not use much about. We will use mostly these three things for standard template library. Then we will learn C++ standard algorithm. It's a standard template library algorithms. So how to sort, how to remove element in vector, etc. And then we will implement custom stack container. We will implement the stack container library first time in our sessions. This step is actually very, very important because we will use this stack container library to implement our scripting language, our interpreter. In part B part B actually begins with Python and Flex implementation on Windows. We will learn about how to use Python and Flex, how to implement our scripting language. First, I will let you know how to install Python and Flex included in Cygwin package on Windows. Okay, on Windows. We can also install Python and Flex of M2sys package on Windows. Okay, I already filmed videos about these in other sessions. I already did in other sessions, other series of channel of videos, but I will explain once again to make this series of video complete. And then we will install Python WinFlex package on Windows. Okay, so all these 1 to 3 methods we will install Python and Flex on Windows. Okay, then we will implement non-reentrant parser using file input. Okay, the parser and lexical analyzer, lexical scanner, and lexical scanner. Okay, then non-reentrant parser using string input. Okay, we used like a file input, then we will use a string input. String input, or you can say buffer input. Okay, string buffer input actually, or string buffer input. Then we will turn our attention to Unicode, non-reentrant parser. Okay, we will use now Unicode. This is actually ANSI text. We will scan ANSI text, but in this session we will implement using Unicode. Then non-reentrant parser, then this is reentrant parser. We move to reentrant parser, but in this case we will using Unicode lexical, lexical analyzer. We will use Unicode lexical analyzer, then but we will implement reentrant parser. Then uh, then we will implement variables in our scripting language. Then we will implement the parser tree in memory. Parser tree in memory is very important. How to implement? We will actually use we will actually use stacks. But before using stacks, we will try to understand how to implement in memory. Then we will implement a nested code block using stack. So we are introducing stack here. Okay, we implemented the stack class on this stage. Sorry, at this stage, but we will use this class here. This class to build a nested code block. If we cannot implement a nested code block, we cannot actually create functions in our scripting language. So this step is really important. And then we will implement include statement in our scripting language. We will implement include statement. Then we will implement Boolean expressions. Okay, Boolean expressions we will implement in this stage. Then using this Boolean expression, we will implement conditional statements such as if, else if, and etc. Then we will implement the syntax error recovery. When they make a syntax error in our code, the user of our programming language, if they make syntax error in their code, then we can properly handle the syntax error. So it is called the syntax error recovery. And next, we will learn how to implement loops. We will implement loop statements such as for, while, to while, etc. And then we will implement the goto statement. At step 16, we finally implement the goto statement. If we understand how to implement the goto statement, then we can implement the function. Then we can implement system function call. The system function call means actually we are creating C++ library that can be very handy in our scripting language. Then we will implement user-defined functions. User-defined functions means we are implementing function features our scripting language. Then we will implement the try-catch exception method. Try-catch exception handling. I mean, we are implementing try and catch exception handling feature in our language. Okay, so this step is also very important for any advanced modern programming language, and that these are all. If we implement this feature, we have defined most features of modern programming interpreting language. But for more advanced, we need to implement a class in our language. To implement our language class is really challenging if you haven't tried it first. In my case, I implemented the class long ago, about 6 or 10 years ago. I implemented a complete programming language, but at that time I implemented the class in my scripting language, but it has been too long, so it may take time for me to refresh my memory to implement them. So these are all syllabus I currently planned. These are my current plan, and I will promise a few things about this course of channel. My promises to my audience. Say, my first promise is that I promise you that I will implement all codes by myself. All codes by myself. What I mean is that I will show you each code how to implement that. I will not just copy and paste. I will not do that. If I do copy and paste, that code is implemented by myself in previous sessions. Or I will implement that. I will show you how to implement that in next session or in subsequent session. Mostly, if I do copy and paste the code, those code blocks are implemented or explained in previous sessions. So each single code text I will implement by myself, and so you can use any of my code freely as you want in your own code. So for your own programming. Second, I will try to answer your questions as much as possible, as detailed as possible. But I cannot guarantee when I will, because I have my own job. I am making this video not to make money. I mean, I'm YouTuber, but making video on YouTube is my hobby. It's not for my living. So I cannot say I will answer very promptly, but I will try to answer every questions, every comment. I will try. If you ask questions, I will try to answer you back as soon as possible and as detailed as possible until you understand. But I am not sure exactly how prompt it could be, because I have my own job as well. Okay, I will answer your questions. I will answer your question ASAP, but I cannot sure. Okay, so that's my promise to you, and I will also say I will not copy a single code that was implemented or copyrighted by other authors. Okay, if I do such things, then I will let you know. I will let you know where I copied or where I copied or where I borrowed. I will let you know the reference and the source where I got the code. Okay, but in fact I will not, because I implemented all courses from scratch by myself, so I don't need to copy any code, any source code, or any source code from done by others. So I will give you 3 promises to my audience. So thank you for watching, and I will try. If you like my course of videos, please leave your questions, even if it looks silly or might stupid. There is nothing like a stupid or silly questions. So if you don't understand anything, please just leave a comment and ask a question. Also, I will tell you that, also try to understand that I did not prepared my code, my actual code in advance. So I have not prepared my code in advance. I am recording while I am coding. Understand? So I can make mistake. Please understand that I am human being and I can make mistake. Okay? So if I make mistake, then please leave it in the comment and help me correct. Okay, we are helping each other. I'm helping you, you are helping me. So it's fair, right? So that's what I'm saying. And I will try to, if I refer to something, I will try to provide you reference materials as much as possible. and please subscribe to my channel, and if you like it, give me like buttons like that. So that's my only wish from you, and I hope you enjoy my video and follow with me. And if you have difficulties understanding, you surely have. It's natural, right? Because you never tried it before. And a lot of concepts are actually quite advanced, in fact. So if it is your first time trying to implement scripting language, it can be quite challenging, in fact, So I will try to help you as much as possible. And I will enjoy this series of videos quite a lot. And I have a lot of other things in mind, planning to implement to demonstrate how to do in computers. Like I have fundamental understanding about 3D graphics. I mean, how to implement 3D graphics. I understand from the bottom to the top. I understand. Also, another thing I can do is I understand about the cryptography, how to implement cryptography, things like that. I can show you every part of the courses. Okay, thank you for watching. I will see you in next video.